Hello there and welcome back to the Vineyard Farmhouse. My name is Brian, for those of you that are new to the channel. Last time on the channel, we installed these stainless steel grab bars in this 5x6 beautiful walk-in shower, as well as this high pressure filter shower head. And I'll be leaving the link to that video in the description below. Now that the shower is complete and I know that the plumbing is good to go, it's time to put on these access panels and start finishing out this linen closet. I will be installing a closet-made shelving system, as well as a utility light controlled by a motion sensor. And just like a refrigerator, the light will go on and off as you open and shut the door. To make it a little brighter in this linen closet, I guess the first thing that we should do is install this motion detector and light. That'll make it a lot easier to work in here. Sorry people, I don't do electrical tutorials. I only show that it's part of my channel. Wow, Mama and Papa are gonna love this. It lights up the whole closet. Everything. Now we can close up these access panels. Even your access panels need to look nice, so paint your screws so they match the wall. Alright, that turned out pretty clean cut. Now it's time to start installing the closet maid. And the first thing that we're going to need to do is cut this hanger track. And now we can install our vertical rails. And those will just tuck in just like this. You put them in at an angle and put it to the wall. So the instructions say not to put them more than 24 inches apart. And that's what I got, 24 inches. It also says don't let it overhang more than 4 inches, and I got 3. So we're doing good here. Not to mention, this one fell on the stud. And now that that's done, we can go cut the shelves to length. In this closet, we chose to use the 12-inch wide shelf and the 16-inch wide shelf. The closet is 31 inches wide, but I want to cut it at 30, so I have about a ½ inch wiggle room on both sides of the shelf. Because I'm a grape farmer, it's very convenient that I have these. I use them to cut the thick anchor wires at the end of the grape rows. But you don't need something like this. You can always use a hacksaw. Then after you're done cutting your shelves to length, you're going to take these little shelf caps and put them on the end of where you cut. It'll protect you from injury and or snagging your linen on the rack. In order to install these shelves, we need to hang these 12-inch support brackets. And it's pretty easy to do. You stick it in an angle like this, and then you pivot downward, and then go down, and it's connected. Then in order to connect the shelf to the bracket, you stick the front part through one of those openings, stick the back part down, and pull it forward, and it clicks in. Alright, so now that that's done, we can start working on this linen closet door. And you know what that means? It's sanding time. Alright, so that didn't really require a whole lot of sanding. It's pretty good from factory. And now all we need to do is wipe it down and vacuum it and start preparing it for staining. Alright, so I made these jigs years ago and I've done many doors, and believe me, these might look a little funny, but they work and they save a lot of time. I call it my door rotisserie. We're going to make these buggers spin. So let's get them installed and I'll show you what they can do. Let's find center. This is a 24-inch door, so 12 inches. Find center of the thickness of the door. And this is where it's going to pivot. We're going to put a screw through the center hole and put a washer. This will help it pivot, almost like a little bearing to some degree. Then we're going to make sure this is center and drill the second jig hole. And put a screw in it. That's what stabilizes it. Alright, so this is the final results. Now I'll show you how it works. You'll get to see this in action as I stain each coat. But for now I just want to show you the functionality of it. So I've already unscrewed the stabilization screw from the other side. At least that's what I'm calling them. And this allows me to pivot the table like that. So there's a stabilization screw on either side depending on which one I'm working on. And now we can make this baby spin and spin. No waiting between coats. You coat one side, you can flip it to the next one, and you're ready to go on this side immediately. And you saw that that was wobbly as I was working with it. But that's what these weird feet are for. I screw those right to the floor, and then this is solid. Before we apply the stain, we're going to use a pre-stained wood conditioner by Minwax. And that's a water base. Now I shook it for me pretty good at the store, but the product says to keep it stirred at all times while you're working with it. I'll be using a polyester brush to apply this. This product is as thin as water. They say they want you to apply it, let it sit for a few minutes, and then they want you to wipe up anything that's sitting in a puddle. So keep it moving and work fast. Make sure you don't have any drips on your edges. So wipe everything down. You want to remove anything that's excess. Okay, so now that that's done and dry, it's time to do some sanding. To do that, we're going to be using a 220 sanding pad. We want to do it very lightly because we want it to be smooth to the touch, but we don't want to sand off the benefits of the wood conditioner. Alright, now that we've finished preparing the wood, we're going to use a semi-transparent wood finish by Minwax, just like we did on the countertop. The color name is Hedgewood, and you're going to want to keep this stirred periodically. I found that the easiest way to do this is to do it in sections. I have to admit, staining is not one of my favorite things to do, but sometimes you gotta do it. So let's put on the time lapse. Time lapse and music. Alright, so not so bad for the first coat. I'm going to let this dry really good and do the rest of it tomorrow. I got these doors looking real good. And what I mean by these doors means there's another door. This is the pocket entry door, and I set it up just like I did the linen closet door. As well as the casing trim that goes around the pocket door. When I'm staining, I like to take all my pieces and combine them by brad nailing them to a scrap board that makes it easier for me to work with. And now that that's done, we can start installing the hardware. Another nice feature of this jig that I made is that I could turn it up vertical That way, it makes it easy for me to install my hinges. And in keeping with the farmhouse look, we chose a barn door handle. couldn't resist it. Now this door is ready to hang. This video is to show the build of the linen closet, but keep your eye out for the video where I reveal the finished bathroom. Alright, so this linen closet is done. And the last thing to do was to add a magnetic close to the door. Alrighty people, this bathroom is done. And I want to thank everybody that followed me along on this journey. It's been quite a while, and this bathroom is whole now. It's no longer pieces and parts. But this channel definitely isn't over. I've got plenty to do in this house. I've got 4 rooms going on right now, and there's exterior work also. But I'd also like to start taking my channel in the original direction it was intended to be, and that was to do makers projects. Some of you have seen my cornhole boards and other things that I have worked on, and that's definitely the type of thing I want to start doing from now on. Not meaning that I'm not going to do the rooms and the house, because of course we want to see that finished. For those of you interested in binge watching all the videos pertaining to this bathroom, I'm going to be setting up a playlist called the Farmhouse Bathroom. If you've been enjoying the content that I have to offer, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to smash that little bell button so you can be notified of the next videos to come. Bye for now. See you next time on the Vineyard Farmhouse.
Oh yeah? You're looking at me? What?